Hey everyone, Paulo Brandt's Clear to Close Brokers. Welcome to this week's mortgage and housing market update. We're going to start this week off in a cautiously positive position. Over the weekend, tensions in the Middle East eased somewhat, oil prices moved lower, and mortgage bonds slightly improved. This is helping rates stabilize as we enter this week. As we enter the week, let's talk a little bit about where the current rates are at. VA is about a 5.75, FHA is about a 5.625, conventional 6.25, jumbo about 6.125. Now remember, these rates are based off credit score, down payment, property types, and loan scenarios. The rates shown here are shown with up to 1 point. Now let's talk about what's going to move the market this week. There are 4 reports I want you to pay attention to. And if you're buying a home, refinancing, or just watching rates, these reports are going to matter. First, up tomorrow's existing home sales report. This simply tells us how many homes are selling across the country. Think of it as a health check in the housing market. Are buyers still active? Are sellers finding buyers? While this report doesn't usually cause major rate movements, it does give us a good idea of how confident buyers are right now. And that's important because housing remains one of the largest pieces of our economy. Wednesday is the big day. We get Consumer Price Index, better known as CPI. This is the inflation report everyone watches. Inflation measures how much more we're paying for everyday things, such as groceries, gas, homeowners insurance, eggs, housing, rent, you name it. If you want to get a Diet Pepsi at the grocery store, this is what's being measured. Why does this matter as it relates to 30-year fixed rates? Inflation and mortgage rates are very closely connected. When inflation cools, rates often improve. When inflation heats up, rates usually move higher. So if there's one report that can move mortgage rates this week, CPI is probably it. We'll be watching it very, very closely. Also, on Wednesday, we have a 10-year Treasury auction. Now, I know that sounds totally boring, but stick with me here because it's important. The 10-year Treasury is one of the best indicators of where mortgage rates may be headed. When investors are eager to buy Treasuries, yields tend to fall. And when yields fall, mortgage rates often improve. When demand is weak, the opposite happens. So we'll be watching investor demand very closely this Wednesday. Thursday brings up 2 additional reports. The first is going to be jobless claims. This measures how many people are filing for unemployment benefits. If claims start rising, it suggests the economy may be slowing. If claims remain low, it tells us businesses are still hiring and holding on to workers. Remember, what is good for the economy isn't always good for mortgage rates. A strong economy can keep inflation alive, and inflation tends to keep, interest rates higher. The second report Thursday is called Producer Price Index, or PPI. Think of it as CPA as inflation at the checkout counter. Think of PPI, it's the products at the store. It measures what businesses are paying. When businesses' costs rise, those costs often get passed on to consumers later down the road. That's why bond markets pay close attention to it. It often is an early warning sign of future inflation. Now let's talk a little bit about housing. One thing that continues to surprise people is how well home prices are holding up. The latest forecasts are calling for roughly 5% appreciation over the next year. That is significant. A $500,000 home appreciating 5% gains, about $25,000 in value. Clients not to focus on interest rates. Rates do matter, absolutely, but so does appreciation. So does building equity, and so does having a strategy. The people who do the best in real estate usually aren't the people who perfectly time the market or try to perfectly time the market. They're the people who have a plan to take action when the opportunity makes sense. Speaking of which, a quick reminder, if you're looking for a mortgage updates, market analysis, and home buying strategies, head over to my YouTube channel. I post new content every week designed to help home buyers and homeowners make smarter financial decisions. And if you're thinking about buying a home, don't forget this Thursday at 6:30, I'm hosting a first-time webinar. We're going to cover down payment assistance. We're going to cover credit scores, how much can you afford, when and how to negotiate with sellers. Bottom line, we're going to teach you how to save and make money in this market. There's no pressure, there's no obligation if you attend. Just come and get some great information and let me help you and your family get on that path. If you like the invite, send me a quick message, email, message, wherever we're at here. Thanks for watching and have a fantastic week. Paul Obrantz, Clear to Close Brokers. I'll see you next week.